Now on Anglia, the news.
Hello, good evening. First tonight, a major search is underway for a 5-year-old boy who went missing on a Norfolk beach 6 hours ago. The alarm was raised just after midday at Brancaster near Hunstanton by the family of 5-year-old Jake Parker, who are on holiday. A helicopter was scrambled and Coast Guard, police and lifeboats are still combing the area. A few minutes ago, Yarmouth Coast Guards gave us the latest information.
The child was last seen at midday near water, which is a major concern of ours, which is why we have launched all these units.
So do you expect the search to continue all night?
We're not sure at the moment. We'll have to have discussions with the police and with our units that are on scene. Obviously fatigue is a factor, but at the moment there are no plans whatsoever to terminate the search.
And we'll have the latest on the search for the missing boy in our GMTV bulletins tomorrow morning from 6:10. The Dutch Coast Guard has called off its search for the body of the 4th crew member from the yacht Tula. 3 of the bodies found yesterday have now been identified, as Dan Pritchard reports.
It was the crew of a fishing boat which spotted 2 of the bodies close to the island of Texel off the Dutch coast on Saturday morning. Soon a 3rd was found. For 2 of the families it means the waiting is at last over. The bodies of skipper Adam Claxon and Cambridge University student Carol Smith have both now been identified. The 3rd body was finally identified today. It's that of Cambridge graduate student James Chew. Chris McMenemy's body still hasn't been found. The Tudor disappeared as it sailed from Holland to its mooring in the River Orwell near Ipswich 2 weeks ago. In a statement, Mr Claxon's widow Lynn and his daughters Kaylee and Saffron said, "Adam was the quintessential sailor, resourceful, self-reliant, competent. He was also generous and would have been more than upset to think his generosity had led to tragedy for others." The Dutch Coast Guard launched a major search for the 4th body, 2 helicopters and 14 lifeboats scouring the area, but that's been called off. For now, they said there's nothing more they can do. Dan Pritchard, Anglia News.
Government vets are still battling to control an outbreak of classical swine fever in the region. 10,000 pigs have already been slaughtered. Another 1,000 were due to be killed today at a farm in Norfolk. The disease was identified at 3 farms in Norfolk, Suffolk and Essex last week. Yesterday, the Ministry of Agriculture confirmed 2 other pig farms had been infected. Belgium, Spain and the Netherlands have already placed embargoes on the import of live British pigs. There are fears other countries will join the ban. 70 jobs will be created in Colchester when a former sweet factory is converted into a telephone call centre. The Trebor Bassett factory in Severals Lane closed last year with a loss of 200 jobs. But now a firm called Eastern Contracting has signed a deal with the site owners to set up the call centre. It's hoped more jobs could be created if other tenants are found. Black slag heaps and dangerous industrial wasteland could be a thing of the past. The fertiliser invented by a Cambridge geologist is able to green the most toxic of tips and prevent dangerous pollution. Linda Fairbrother reports.
This soil looks ordinary, but it's full of heavy metals. It's taken from this polluted industrial site in France.
Hardly anything will grow in this, but a Cambridge scientist has discovered that if you add a mixture of chicken manure and this particular kind of rock crushed up, you can bring back life to even the most heavily polluted soil.
Dr. Lego has been coaxing wheat to grow in such soil by adding his fertiliser. That's important because without plants to bind the soil, slag heaps and tips just blow away or get eroded by rain.
Then, of course, the whole thing simply gets redistributed with time into the drainage system and then via that into the food chain. And this is a real problem. We sharpen it up a little bit. There you go, beautiful. Oh, lovely, yes.
The magic ingredient is zeolite, a mineral formed from volcanic ash. It has a particular structure that reacts with the chemicals in chicken manure. The result is an organic fertiliser that doesn't need renewing and helps plants to grow however poisonous the soil.
In this pot here, we have 2 wheat plants growing in soil highly polluted with copper, lead and zinc, highly toxic soil. Whereas in this one, we have 2 wheat plants growing in the same toxic soil, but amended with organozeolitic fertiliser.
Even the roots show the difference. Now Dr. Lego hopes to move out of his greenhouse in the Cambridge Botanic Garden to start trials on a commercial scale. Linda Fairbrother, Anglia News, Cambridge University.
It's been a huge weekend for music in the region. Radio 1's Big Sunday event brought stars such as Five, Baby Spice and All Saints to Chantry Park in Ipswich. It came a day after a local radio station staged a beach party in Great Yarmouth, filling a gap when Radio 1 pulled out. Rebecca Holmes went to both events.
It's who the crowds came to see. Well, all the girls anyway, and they didn't disappoint. The boy band Five headlined Radio 1's One Big Sunday event in Chantry Park, Ipswich. But they weren't the only stars of the day. All Saints, Texas and Emma Bunton, otherwise known as Baby Spice, were also there.
I'm actually really nervous. I don't know why, because I think I haven't done loads of these on my own, but it's going to be fun. I wish I was doing a song from my new album, but I'm doing what I am. They'll all know it, so it'll be lovely.
And of course there was the Radio 1 DJs.
It's really a chance for us to kind of go and meet the people that listen to the show. It's an excuse for people to come out and have a good time in the sun and see some of their artists and hopefully have a good time.
This is one of the biggest shows that Radio 1 has ever put on. There's 5 top DJs, celebrities everywhere, and at least 60,000 people in the crowd behind me. But Radio 1 weren't the only radio station to bring music to the region this weekend. On Saturday, Sandstorm 2000 arrived at Central Beach in Great Yarmouth. The Vibe FM show, in conjunction with the Eastern Daily Press and the Great Yarmouth Mercury, aimed to take over from where Radio 1 left off. The national station abandoned their traditional seaside road shows last year.
Well, this is really the icing on the cake for Great Yarmouth. We've suffered a little bit with the Radio 1 roadshow going, but this is really bringing roadshows back to Great Yarmouth where they belong.
But whether you were at Great Yarmouth or Ipswich, there were some things both shows had in common. They were very hot, very crowded and very noisy. Rebecca Holmes, Anglia News, Ipswich.
East Anglia has become a popular location for films and television programmes, and a special arts project has been launched to find out what people think about.
Sunday event brought a crowd of 85,000 to Chantry Park in Ipswich to see stars such as Five, Baby Spice and All Saints.
On Saturday, the action was in Great Yarmouth, where a local radio station helped keep alive the traditional seaside roadshow. Anglia News reporter Rebecca Holmes caught up with the stars at both events.